That's right, guys. We're going over yet another can't miss, must get, especially if you're a new player, to Brave Exvius character today in Steadfast Soldier Machina. He's a fantastic breaking, support, damage dealing, chaining character for you to sink your teeth into. So sit down, relax. Thanks for spending a little bit of your time here out of your busy schedules today to come and hang out on the channel. And thank you guys so much for that continued support via Patreon as well as the YouTube channel, membership, other social media links as always down below, fantastic Discord group, etc, etc. With that out of the way, it's going to be a little bit different because I'm trying to get used to this new streaming thing and the cameras over there still and the things here, so when I'm reading I'm not gonna be looking at you guys. It's gonna be really weird. Well, let's get into it for you. All right, let's go on in here and talk about Steadfast Soldier Machina. So he's gonna be a bolting strike chaining frame character with a fantastic Trustmaster and Super Trustmaster reward. So let's get in here for you guys. You can get him TLDR because I get asked questions all the time about the free characters. Just do the new current event. I might have a video on that as well, right? What to get. But do the new current event for right now, TLDR. It's going to be the Type 0 event. You'll get 7,000 event points. You'll get Steadfast Soldier Machina, and then you'll have to buy his Prism with 150,000 coins from the event there, and then his STMR Moogles and TMR Moogles as well. You can get all that stuff for free as long as you just spend your energy on the Type 0 event there. But his TMR is going to be a sword, 151 attack, 30% MP, with the effect of Splendid Rapier, which allows anyone who is wearing the sword the ability to dual wield one-handed weapons, which doesn't matter too much for him, but this is very much a very similar weapon to old Machina's Super Trustmaster reward, and this allows you to do cool things like notably on Dragoon characters or any other character that you want to be dual wielding on for some reason, but they don't have the ability to actually equip two weapons. You can put this weapon on them. That'll give the ability to them then dual wield, wear a second weapon, and instead of using something like a materia slot or an accessory slot to let them dual wield, you can use your weapon slot instead, and that means you can wear a better accessory, a better materia. So it's a fantastic Trustmaster reward. You're not going to be using it on every character, but it's going to shine when it shines, and it's so easy to get that you might as well pick it up for later. Now his STMR is the Pluveil, and it's a clothing body piece, 33 attack, which is not too shabby. That's actually pretty fantastic just in general. There's not a terrible amount of insanely easy accessible high attack body pieces out there. This one's not the highest, but it's also not the lowest. 38 defense, 44 spirit, and has the effect of Guide of Orients, which gives you 50% increased attack when equipped with a sword weapon, which is what his Trustmaster reward is. So very, very strong, 50% attack and a decent amount of stats on this body piece here. And it being a piece of clothing, you put this on a lot of units out there. So very powerful TMR and STMR for him. So you get use out of it right away, and then down later if there's some weird combination, right, like a Dragoon like Sid, where you put his TMR on, sword weapon, and gives him dual wield, put a spear in his other hand, put the Pluveil on, that gives you 50% attack on top of that. So now you have your materia slots and your accessory slots to go on ahead and use jump damage items or killer items or limit burst damage items, not on Sid, but on maybe other characters. You can do some cool stuff with these rewards, so definitely pick this up. This is fantastic stuff, and it's all available strictly from the event. So we'll go into his equipment selection. We have daggers, swords, great swords, katanas, so the run-of-the-mill general good weapons there. Then we have armor selection, hats, clothing, light armor, and robes. And then let's get into his innate abilities here. So right away we have Siphon Sword plus Bolting Strike, 10 times mod, so a low mod with a little bit of HP drain, but it's a 75% defense and spirit break for 2 turns to an enemy, and then it goes down to a 70%. So it's going to be a 4-turn break overall. First 2 turns, 75%, and then it's go down to a 70% break. The Stunning Slash Plus here is also very similar, Bolting Strike, but instead of it being defense and spirit, it's going to be attack and magic. Same sort of thing, 75% for 2 turns, 70% for the 2 turns after that. Then we have Flame Spin and Lightning Spin. This is going to be his imbue skills of both Bolting Strike, so you're going to be able to do fire and lightning damage, and then it's going to hit you with a fire and lightning imbue for 2 turns there for yourself. That way you can be self-sufficient if you want to with non-elemental weapons. You have the option to do that for yourself there. Then he has Enfeeblement Drive, which dispels all status effects from the enemy, and then it hits them with a 70% attack, defense, magic, and spirit break for 1 turn. And it also is going to be Bolting Strike, and the mod on it is 17 times. But the other thing that it's going to do is going to auto cast that break again the turn after, and then also auto cast it the turn after that. So you get 3 turns of breaks in a row. So it says it's 1 turn, but it's really a 3-turn 70% break. 70% breaks aren't like super crazy high, right? We have 80%, etc. that exist. But what you can do with this is there can be bosses from time to time that they give themselves an attack buff and a magic buff and an elemental resist buff and all this other stuff. And you have to dispel all those buffs. And then since you dispel the buffs, you're going to be dispelling all of your breaks and all your imperils and all your negative stuff as well. You're going to get rid of all of those. He can get rid of them all that you need to get rid of, and then he can just immediately break them with a single move as well. The other thing he does have is Elemental Weakening, which is 120% Fire, Ice, and Lightning imperil for a single turn, and then also is going to be a Fire, Ice, and Lightning imperil of 100% for 3 turns as well. So it's going to be 3 turns total. It's not 4, it's not 1 plus 4. It does the imperils at the same time, so it's going to be 120, 100, 100, disappeared, and this is also a Bolting Strike Chaining Frame skill. We also have Guardian Blades Plus, which is a 30% physical mitigation buff on all allies for 3 turns. It cures defense break and gives 150% defense buff as well. And then also has this like little counter thing where he'll counter and, you know, might get some LB gauge crystals out of it, but nothing super major there. He also has extended magic barrier, 30% magic mitigation, cures spirit break, and gives a 150% spirit buff for 3 turns to all allies. He also has dual cast, which allows him to dual cast any of his skills. So not only does he have imperils, he has imbues for himself, he has the breaks. He also has these 2 defense and spirit buffs, as well as physical and magical mitigation on top of that. So very, very strong, all-encompassing character so far, and that's just his 6-star form. So let's get into a 7-star form here. We have Awakening Plus, 4-turn cooldown, available on turn 1, recovers his health to full, gives him a 200% attack buff for 5 turns to the caster, and then it gives him triple strike, so he's allowed to triple cast his skill. So now you can break and then maybe do the buff for defense and the buff for spirit, whatever it is that you want to do. You can mix and match, make him do more damage, whatever it is. The world is your oyster. Then we have Lassie's Duty here, 5-turn cooldown, available on turn 1, 300% attack buff for 1 turn to the caster, 20 times multiplier increase for 1 turn to the caster to Elemental Weakening, Fear Slash, Siphon Sword Plus, and Stunning Slash Plus. And this is also itself going to be a Bolting Strike Chain Frame family skill, which is also a 30 times physical mod to one enemy there. Now this skill does cost 32 Limit Burst Crystals though, so you can use it on turn 1, but the odds of you having 32 Limit Burst Crystals to use this on turn 1 are not high, because it's turn 1, you need 32 Limit Burst Crystals, which is his whole Limit Burst bar. So you have to work for that one if you want it on turn 1. But you'll be able to get it on like maybe turn 3 or so with a little bit of help there. Now we also have Summon True Eidolon Machina, which helps him get that LB gauge up there, right? It gives Evocation gauge of 10 to your whole party, right? And then LB gauge of 40 to your whole party. Removes all status effects on himself, then it hits him with an unresistible death. So you could use this on turn 1 if you wanted to, help facilitate summoning an Esper, help facilitate getting your other party members' limit bursts off. Then he's going to die, and maybe on turn 1 you part of your plan, right? You don't have to use him this way, but you can use this. Fills up his own LB as well. He dies, you raise him, and then on turn 2 you have Awakening, Lassie's Duty, and you're ready to start going from then and there if you want to do that. Now also this skill is dual castable, so you can use Summon True Eidolon and break with him as well on that turn. Remember, he's got that one skill that breaks 70%, 70%, 70% recast every single turn. So that's something that you can do with him if you want to go down that route. Then we have Fear Slash here, which is the skill that gets the 20 times multiplier buff here. It's just another base 20 times mod, so 40 overall once it's buffed by Lassie's Duty. And it has a chance to paralysis and stop. Not that big of a deal. All the enemies in hard content are immune to that anyway, and then it's going to have heal over time, very small heal over time. And it also is Bolting Strike Chaining Frame family. And then we have his Limit Burst, the True Rush Blade, increases your attack by 200% for 5 turns to the caster, and then gives you Bolt Rapier's Triple Strike here, so triple cast again. It also decreases attack defense, magic, and spirit of all enemies by 80% for a single turn on top of that, and it's a 54 times mod. He's not an LB damage dealer. You'll be using this for those turns you want that big 80% break. It does only last 1 turn though, so keep that in mind. But also his passives that we need to talk about real quick. He has 50% true dual wield attack, so not very, very high, but he does have the 6 times mod chain cap. So if you have the true dual wield gear to throw on him to make him do some more damage, which isn't his main role, mind you, he does have Bolting Strike. His mods are not that great, but you can get him up there and do some burst damage, right? 40 times mods, which is great, but overall, right? We're looking at 20 mods, somewhere around there. But he's going to have that turn every once in a while with Lassie's duty to do out some bonus damage there. But it's going to take a little bit more work to get up to the 200% true dual wield. But his main role is a support character. He does have 50% demon and machine killer. He does have attack and defense and spirit, a little bit HP as well. He's not going to be the biggest tank in the game, but he's not going to be super squishy for you there either. He does have 50% high tide, and he can enables the summoning of any Esper equipped by anyone in the party, which is traditionally like a summoner thing, but he can do that as well. So that's going to help him out quite a bit. So what will you be using him for? Like I said before, he is a support character. You can get in there, do 75% defense, spirit, attack, and magic breaks, do 80% with his limit burst. You can chain with him as well. Bolting strike as a support chain thing. If you want to put a chain finisher in your team, if you're trying to use him more as a veteran player for something like Dark Visions, you can get in there and do that as well, where you use him as a bolting strike chain character with someone else, and you have a chain finisher come and do the big damage. And he also does have the access to the defense and spirit buffs, which in the physical and magic mitigation, which I know a lot of veteran players, they already have a dedicated support for that stuff. But if you're a newer player, he's very, very strong, encompassing all of those things for you. He can break for you. He can put up defense and spirit buff for you. He can put up physical and magic mitigation for you. He can imbue himself for you to match either fire or lightning damage, and then he has fire, ice, and lightning imperil. So very strong character for you to have access to there. This is definitely a character you don't want to miss out on. If you had access to, right, the past couple of free characters we had, right, we had not Radiant Lightning, but the Final Fantasy 13 2 Valkyrie Lightning. I don't even know what her name was. For a magic tank, you had for a physical tank, now you have Steadfast Soldier Machina for a pretty all-around strong, solid support character for you with some really strong breaks, 75%, 80%. We talked about all that stuff. So very, very solid 3 characters to just, those are like the backbone roles. The only one, really one that you're kind of missing is like a healer of some sort. So if you get a healer, you just take whatever damage you want, and you have an actual solid team to put together in Brave Exvius. So thank you guys so much for spending some time here, like I said, once again, and for supporting the channel via Patreon as well as the YouTube channel membership program. Until then, guys, stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next video.